What's up, guys? So getting a heavier ruck in today. I like to split up my weeks with in terms of rucking or my hill work. I like to have a lighter day, typically like with a plate carrier or just a light pack, somewhere around 10 to 15% of body weight. And then I'll have a heavier day, like I've got here, about 32-ish% of body weight. And then if it's in the schedule, I'll have a body weight day. So basically heavier, slower, lighter days are faster, more interval approach. Today is more kind of a grind. Trying to maintain heart rate, just plodding along, steady state. And then that body weight day will be either a timed hill climb or timed intervals. And those, of course, will be fastest speeds that I can. And then that's set up in a, giving myself enough rest in between intervals that I can move with good power and speed. So anyway, if you need help with that, that's what I do. We got a ton of good programs on our website. You also can do, like some athletes have done, is quite a few actually, reach out to work with me one-on-one. If you can't get to us in person, that's fine. We have a kick-ass online platform full of videos, super interactive. So it's like the next best thing. But on that topic, I was speaking with one of our athletes, super successful mountain hunter out west, and he drew an early season high country mule deer tag. And we're talking about his training, which is basically, he's only 3 months out from that hunt. I think it's the end of August. So talking about his training, and he's been on it already, which is great. And he's starting to implement his rucking. And this particular athlete, a few years back, was struggling with ankle injuries, so some sprains. Had chronic history of ankle sprains as a athlete when he was younger. And of course, those tissues, once compromised, always compromised, and leads into his adult life and the sport of backcountry hunting. So one of the adjustments that we made was when he's doing his loaded rucks and training, he was always doing it with his, it's like a 12 or 13 inch hunting leather boot. So stiff ankle, lace up boot, awesome boot. I bought a pair as well. But he was doing all of his training in those boots. So effectively, he was, over many years, down regulating the stability even further in those connective tissues, right? Like in his feet and ankles, shank, lower leg, because that boot acts as a brace, right? So that's kind of its job, is to provide stability, but in doing so, it's, like I said, down regulating the job of those tissues to support, the structures at the foot and the ankle. So what we did was pulled him out of those boots and put him into more of a hiking shoe. So basically something that is below ankle. So here's mine, which I've showed you guys before. I use a Solomon Speed Cross. It's got a pretty gnarly sole, but here's ankle. and it sits down below that. So now I'm going through, you know, these loaded training events, and the foot and the ankle is able to be, is having to respond to that. Okay, so it's building strength, durability, and the elasticity or compliance needed to handle these types of loads. So just like a sprinter needs to have adequate stiffness at the foot, the structures of the foot and the ankle, so that they can apply and transfer force effectively, right? You don't want to be sloppy, because, you know, when the foot hits the ground, if it's super squishy, too much compliance, well, then you're not able to transfer force, you know, when the foot hits the ground, and to propel you forward. It's no different in this type of environment. It's just slower, okay, heavier, longer ground contact times, but I still need adequate stiffness, okay? Because otherwise, when, you know, I get on side hill and the ground underneath me is slippery, the rocks move, something, it's always changing. It's never the same. Well, now I'm not prepared for that sudden change, all right? Even in a boot, you're gonna have, especially loaded, you're gonna have situations that you need to have the ability to recover from. So we put him in basically a hiking shoe, and he went about his training slowly building in loads relative to body mass, and it worked quite well. And he's doing the same thing now, right, as he's preparing for this hunt. So it ain't all about, you know, fucking glutes and quads, man. Yeah, if the feet and the ankles, the shank, if you don't have the correct strength, stiffness, stability, etc., you're fucked. Because there is one way to end a hunt or an adventure very quickly, and that is to take you out at the feet and the ankles. It could be something as simple as a blister. You're done, and you're not performing at your best. You're focused on that and not harvesting an animal, or whatever your goal might be. So take that into consideration. Again, our programs incorporate this, so if you need help, reach out. Season's coming, guys. You need to be getting on it now, and I'm here to help. So keep charging, and we'll see you next time.